This is the plaintiff, Maria Scarcella. She says she and her brother hired the defendant to pave a sidewalk and driveway around his home. And after 6 months, the sidewalk was chipping and flaking. The flim-flam sidewalk man promised to come out and fix it, but didn't. And after paying him $42,000 for the job, she wants him to give back $3,500 so she can get the repairs done right. This is the defendant, John. He says the plaintiff was very happy with the work he did, and when she complained of some holes after the first winter, he came back and patched them free of charge. Now, all this time later, she's claiming she's not happy with the job and wants an entirely new sidewalk? Come on, he's done all he can do, so now it's in the judge's hands. He's accused of not cementing a deal.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to cement her sidewalk, and the cement started chipping after only 6 months. But the defendant says the plaintiff was more than happy until after the first winter. It's the case of you're a chip off the old sidewalk.
Douglas,
You're welcome, ma'am.
Maria Scarcella?
Yes.
You are suing John. You've asked to be referred to only by your first name and not to mention your company name. You're suing John's company for $3,500, the estimate that you have to redo a sidewalk that you say he did in a faulty fashion. Tell me what happened.
Yes. Basically, my brother had hired John to do pavers, a sidewalk, other brickwork around the house. But my brother unexpectedly passed away in March of 2008.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. So I put the job on hold till about 8-9 months later when I was ready to revisit the job. In the interim, my mom and I moved into his house, and I wanted to execute my brother's wishes. So I contacted John, and we started the work December of 2008.
Okay. What was the work?
We had to do the whole entire driveway. We had to do some work in the back, fix waterproof, do some stuff around the house.
No. If I want to know what the work is, things like stuff around the house, some work in the back is not an answer. I want to know because it was a very good contract for you, right? How much was this?
Close to $42,000.
$42,000. So I'm trying to understand what the work was. Exactly what was the work?
We had to do a whole new sidewalk, curb.
How many feet of sidewalk?
About 40 feet, 40 by 4. Then we had to build a ramp with a new set of stairs. We had to fix our old staircase, repoint it. We also had to repoint the whole front of the house, waterproof it. We also did some cobblestone work, which is a natural stone, pretty much all around the perimeter.
Do you have a picture of it?
I have a pticture of the...
No, I know of the sidewalks in question. I'm just curious if you have a picture of the other work.
Yeah, no.
Okay, do you?
I have most of the sidewalk, but mainly from, I have a piece of the driveway.
Okay. All right, so the work is completed back in sometime in 08, 09.
Right.
And when is the first inkling that you have that there's something wrong and that you want him to readdress it?
That was the year we had really bad snowstorms. It was like snowstorm after snowstorm. So spring of 09, when everything melted, I noticed the sidewalk was chipping. And everything else was fine. And I'm content with the other work. The pavers are beautiful. The ramp, I actually added that work for the ramp because my mom had Parkinson's disease and she needed a ramp. So I even added more work to the original work.
Right.
So the sidewalk just started chipping. But the ramp, no. And he specifically told me do not throw rock salt, which I did not. I threw down the calcium chloride, the ones he said that was safe for the cement and everything. So, and it just kept chipping and chipping.
Is this what we're talking about?
Correct.
So, God, that's so weird.
The chipping, I have the chipping here.
And that's what causes this?
That's from when it's very icy snow, the trucks come around and they spread the salt. So that hits the sidewalk, and once the salt rock lays there after a while, salt will leak through anything.
So you're talking about the city trucks?
Correct.
What's it cost to put in a new sidewalk for those 40 feet?
Between $1,500 to $1,800, depends on what who's doing it.
But you've got an estimate for $3,500?
Because I'm using another company.
I know you're using another company,
obviously. Yeah.
But
And he actually said, when I told him I wasn't happy with it, he said, okay, I'll do it for you at cost, $1,600. At cost $1,600. And at first I agreed. I don't know why, I shouldn't have. And then I thought about it and I was
sometimes you're just tired. That's why.
I guess.
You know.
I just wanted
wanted it over and done and right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And I didn't want it to have to come to this. And then I'm like, wait a second, and then I go back to the, original invoice. This is a $42,000 job. And like I said, I'm happy with the pavers. I'm happy with the ramp. The ramp has no chips. If it was rock salt.
But a sidewalk should last a lot longer than now.
Exactly.
But what about what he's saying, which is, hey, it's not my fault. It's nothing defective in the sidewalk. It's the salt that the city's pouring.
Then why did he agree to do the work in December? I even said to him, is it okay to do the work in December? Yeah, don't worry about it. The concrete.
Well, no, does that have, okay, wait a minute. Let's find out what you're saying. What is your testimony that even whether you do the work in December or do the work ever, that salt is going to eat through the cement or only?
No, it doesn't matter, correct.
So in other words, the next Christmas it was going to be the same problem?
Also, Your Honor.
But why doesn't everybody's sidewalk look like that?
Exactly.
Shouldn't everybody's sidewalk then look like this?
Also, with a ramp, it was also concrete, and there was nothing wrong with the ramp.
Can you answer what I just asked?
What was that?
Why doesn't everybody's sidewalk in Staten Island look like this?
Most of them, they do, Your Honor.
Most of the sidewalks in Staten Island look like this.
No, they don't. I looked at my neighbors. I even walked around. I saw beautiful concrete work after we had major snowstorms.
Salt will lead to anything, Your Honor.
Court's in recess.
So the cement is chipping after 6 months. Is it a bad job?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bad job. They need to redo it.
Bad snowstorm that winter?
I understand, but they need to redo it.
Why? Because of 6 months? Is that the problem here?
I mean, no, they just did a bad job.
Why is it automatically a bad job if it starts chipping after 6 months?
Yes.
It's too short a time.
Yeah.
Everybody agree?
Yes.
Everybody agree?
Not necessarily.
We're cool?
Depends what was told before he did the job. If he said it wasn't going to go...
Yeah, I'm going to do a really crappy job for you, sir. I don't think so, going inside the courtroom.
I did a little research into what causes this kind of concrete pitting. Your pictures are actually much worse than hers. There's, let's say, maybe 10 reasons, 9 of which have to do with the contractor. The only one that the contractor can say, hey, it ain't me, is the salt issue. She is very clear that she never put the kind you said don't put. I am sure you tell your customers don't.
I do, yes.
Yeah, so and I know you do because she says he immediately told me and I would never use that. So you say, well, maybe it's the city. The city doesn't de-ice your sidewalks. The city de-ices the street. But maybe some of it spills on there. Well, if that's the case, I want to see how all of Staten Island has this, or a lot of Staten Island has this. And a lot, I think that it's fair to say that this is not how Staten Island looks. Staten Island may have its problems now over Hurricane Sandy, but it doesn't have its problems over concrete. And the concrete issue is usually due, this kind of pitting. The usual culprits are the pour, the concrete, the excessive accelerator used when you're trying to do it in the winter and avoid bad weather that is on the horizon. Anyway, I am, when you tell me, oh, it costs $1,500 to do that, that's interesting because you told her that your cost, and you'd eat the labor was $1,500. So it can't possibly cost her $1,500 to get this done. At least not here in New York. How many estimates did you get?
I got...
No, not you, I'm sorry.
I just have one.
Did you get estimates?
I did. I had people go by to give a rough estimate of what the sidewalk cost is, yes.
Oh, can I see your estimates too?
Sure.
Wait, whose estimates are these? Frank's Masonry.
That's mine.
Oh, and One Masonry and Tony Masonry.
Correct.
Those are all yours. What are your estimates? Let me see your estimates.
I just have Mazzacappa.
Okay, let me see that.
Who was highly recommended, and a friend of mine uses him, and that's why I want to go with him.
Right, I understand that, but I have to figure out what the fair market value of this job is as opposed to just the guy you want to go with if he's twice as expensive. I do, however, have a concern that if you tell her that you'll do it at cost and she has to pay $1,600, that then you just got your buddies in the business to say it's $1,400.
The way it goes, Your Honor, is in Staten Island, it goes by the square foot. Normal square foot goes from $5 to $7 to $8.
I know, but here's where my problem lies. I don't know if I trust you. If you tell a customer that your cost is $1,500 and then you're showing me, oh look, $1,400 is what it costs. Why are you telling a customer that your cost is $1,500? Because that means you're not making profit. So if it's true that your cost is $1,500 or $1,600, how much was it? He said he'd do. I'll do it at my cost.
He do it at my cost, $1,600.
$1,600. Then that means that you're foregoing profit. That means that the real cost is supposed to be, double or something. Right. So why is it that her quote is so bad, and why is it that your quotes are lower than what you claim your cost was?
Because
so now I don't trust you.
Right. When I go to get the sidewalk permits, I have to pay other people to get the permits. Pay this, pay that. That adds up.
Yeah. Well, how come it doesn't add up for the other guys?
I have no idea how the other guy works, Your Honor.
Yeah, I do. What happens is you have friends in the business and you ask them to give you lowball. And then what I watch for on that side is one estimate instead of three, and the one estimate is highball. You guys think you're my first rodeo? You're not my first rodeo. I do this all the time. All right, guys.
To be honest,
stop. We're done. I find in favor of the plaintiff, and I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's my judgment. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here's the way to win this case. Take pictures of other sidewalks on the block and show they look better than yours.